You are not confused. You are just split between two cultures, immigration stress and mental health. My name is Dr. Debbie. I'm a wellness coach, and today we are going to be talking about immigration stress and mental health. A lot of people, when they relocate from one part of the world to the other, it's kind of impact their mental health. It's kind of bring a lot of stress to them because now in their new world, they are trying to struggle to adjust and then to for the new world, to accept them, and then especially the accent, the accent battle. And when they return home, in the at home, they are not, they have been treated as being too Western, but in their new country, they are being treated as they are too African or too Asian. How do we strike a balance, between these two feelings? It is possible, to have two cultures, because if you have the opportunity, to have in your to be in your own country, your home country, and now you have relocated to another country, that's good, that's a blessing, and you should, embrace both world. And it's just me, you don't need to struggle between them. A lot of people, they keep adjusting, learning new accents, and meeting the wall, and then they continue to adjust until they almost lose their identity, which also they are not happy with. But that should not be. As I said, it is possible, to embrace two cultures. You just pick and choose which one will benefit you between your own culture and then the new country that where you are find yourself, where you have relocated to, and then you embrace the two world and you use it for your own benefit. It is important that communication, comprehension when you are speaking, that people should be able to understand you, and you as well, you understand, the other people that you are talking to. That is really important. And there's nothing bad, like initially when you tell people, can you say that again? Please, can you say that again? Please, can you say that again? There's nothing wrong with it. You continue to say it as long as until you are able to understand what they are saying, or they too they say it to you and they are able to understand. And if it is like a work environment, maybe within your team or like group of people that you work with, eventually they're able to understand different accents in different countries. Even in the United States, for example, like when I came to the United States and the place where I was working, one of the time that I was working in a particular state, which if you Google it happens to be the most whitest state in the United States. And all my colleagues are Caucasian. Like, in that place, I was like, the person of color. And I was surprised that, like a nurse, we need, excuse me, a patient, we need my attention. And then they will be looking for me. Oh, Debbie, your patient wants you and all that. And I will ask them, if they go and meet the patient on my behalf. Maybe I was busy with another patient. And then they will say, oh, we cannot understand what the patient is saying. I say, what do you mean? I'll start laughing at them. If you cannot understand what they are saying, you are all Caucasians, you are all white. How do you want me, a person of color with different accent from Africa, to understand? And they let me know that even in America, there are different accents. The New Yorker accent is different from the people from Georgia, is different from people from Texas, is different from people that are from Michigan, is different from people, different parts. And I get to know, even at times, we have clients that are from Canada, which is also part of North America. So, and they were able to understand me. There's never, since I've been in the United States, I've been in healthcare, no patient has ever tell me that they do not understand what I was communicating to them, or that they need an interpreter, because it's English. They only ask that, oh, you have an accent. And I tell them to, yeah, you too. Every American is an immigrant. America is a country of immigrants. So I don't take that personally to make that to stress me, because we see that a lot in mental health, and that's why I am bringing it up, and especially with children. I see a lot of children, and now some of them I see adults as well, but the adult, they are still tracing it back, maybe like young adults, in their late 20s, in their mid 20s, in their early 30s, and they're still referring back, to the trauma. They came to America as a child, maybe 10-year-old, 12-year-old, before age of 10, and they still remember, the struggle with accent. That when they came to the US, the accent when they were in elementary, because of the age of early middle school, that they could not, blend with the American accent. And that is when I say that as a big deal, that was really traumatic for them. Some of them, even there are some people that they say they have to withdraw their children, which is really sad, from school, and to have to do homeschooling, because like the children, they were not really able to integrate, into the American system because of the accent. But that should not be, like I've just narrated at the beginning of this video, how I was in the midst of a community that were most Caucasians. And in fact, there's one of my professor later that I met, out when I got out of that, said that she told me she was 13 years of old in her lifetime before she saw another person of color. She thought people around the entire world, everybody is white skinned like her. So you can imagine, like the attitude of such person seeing a person of color for the first time in her lifetime at age 13. So we should just be open-minded, and not be confused. Within two cultures, it is possible to have two cultures, your country of birth, where you are coming from, and where you have migrated to. Just be open-minded, and be ready to learn. And what is important is communication and comprehension. Like, I'm in healthcare, I need to talk to a lot of people. I need to talk to my patients. I need to discuss disease, illness process with them. I need to discuss, the medication, the diagnosis. How did we arrive at diagnosis? Which medication are we choosing? Why are we choosing it? The classes of medication, the benefits of the medication, side effects, adverse effects of any medication, if there's any. And also, when apart from the patient as well, I need to, maybe if like minor, like children that I said I see, I need to communicate, talk to their parents as well. So I do a lot of talking. And even other specialty, I need to call pharmacy, maybe to discuss some medications, if the insurance is on the way, that maybe that medication is not going to be provided, and then we need to advocate that, oh, this patient actually needed this medication. And talk to insurance as well, to advocate for patient. Talk to the laboratory when we make some orderings, need to explain to the patient where we are, going for that lab to check some electrolytes, to check some components in their system. When the result is back, interpret it and all that. So a lot of talking that I do with people. Most of, majority of my work is talking to people, and now I have an accent. But the patients, that is not a big deal with them, because I speak English. In my country, we were colonized by the British, and that is the accent that we have. But since it's, good English to some extent, and people are able to understand you, just speak slowly. And if they don't understand some of the words or sentences, you can say it again. Speak slowly, and that is what is important. And in my practice, majority of my clients, they are Caucasian. They do come. Just know the why. Why did you relocate from your country to where you are now? My own why is for higher education. My own why is to be able to impact people, in healthcare. And because of that, I don't even look for the patient. The patient look for me because they see the expertise, and when they come, the benefit that they derive, not minding the accent. And what I'm just trying to say is that the accent is not really very important, to impact, our mental health. We should just make effort, what we choose and pick. And the importance of communication, is just to understand one another. But I see it's causing a lot of mental health concerns in children, in young people, and even in adults. So that is why I'm bringing up this video, because, mental health, and it's about wellness. And that is the essence, of communicating with specialists, with, people that will be able to guide. And like young people, I said, we are different in the entire 8 billion people around the world. Everybody have their own accent, everybody have the way they do their things. And if you're in another country, that's a blessing to add that culture to yours. But that does not change who you are or identity, because you will be in between. You will be like a kind of confused. And that is why at the beginning of this video, you are not confused. You are just split between two cultures. And know your why you are in another country. Your parent brought you here. You were born here. Embrace it. and use the two nationalities, for your own benefits. And that's the cost anyway of having two cultures living in two different worlds, but the benefits there, outweigh the struggle of trying to float in between. And what is important is your mental health and the benefits you derive from the two nationalities belonging to your home country and your new world. I hope you learned something, and healing starts when you accept that. You accept both cultures. Like me, I'm a Nigerian and American, so accept both cultures. I go in, go out of America as I want. America give me opportunity to other countries in the world. So also my Nigerian passport, it give me opportunity to even to start with my Nigerian passport, gave me opportunity to the US, because without my Nigerian passport, I will not be able to step my feet in America. So use both, to your own advantage, and we don't need, to disrupt our mental health, because of that. So be happy and enjoy life. Until you see me again in my next video, have a positive mental health. And as I've said, my name is Dr. Debbie, your mental health coach. Like, share, comment on this video. And until I see you again, have a positive mental health. Bye.